Yeah, well, there are dozens of states seriously competing for the film production to have film production in their states. Now, most of them are dangling tax credits to attract the industry. Some say it's a competition for millions of dollars in ancillary spend and good wages. Others say it's a race to see who can waste the most money.
So you see a future for yourself in film in Cincinnati?
Yeah, film being more of a broad term, that means I would be completely content with working on TV shows, working on commercials, movies.
You're looking at the future of the film industry in Ohio. Young people like Cameron Holstedge want to stay in the state and build a career in film, but say they are only able to if the state continues to support the industry. Namely, that means continuing to provide tax credits to film, television, and theater. The Ohio Department of Development just announced its new round of tax credits for the film and theater industry, $33 million for television, film, and theater projects for 2025. Scores of films have come to Ohio for production, but a majority within the past 15 years, following the adoption of the film industry tax credit in 2009. A 2020 study paid for by the Greater Cleveland Film Commission and Film Cincinnati shows for every dollar spent with these tax credits, $3 is made in economic impact, well over $1 billion.
There's always flashy studies that come out and say, oh, there's all this economic activity. Usually what it is it's a temporary bump in people staying in hotels and things, but it's not money that stays long term within the area.
The Buckeye Institute is a longtime critic of tax credits, especially for the film industry, a very narrow sliver of Ohio's workforce. Critics say the film industry is using states, and states should fight back.
Hollywood gets states like Ohio and Georgia to compete in a race to the bottom against each other and utilizing their tax dollars. Tax dollars that really should be going for, if we're not going to give them back to the people who earned that money in their paycheck, it could go towards putting more cops on the streets, fire station upgrades, roads paved, and schools, teachers' salaries improved.
The owner of Midwest Grip and Lighting says we have no choice if we want to compete.
But if you want to compete in that segment of business, if your state wants to make movies, it has to offer tax incentives.
You don't think that we could compete on just being Ohio?
Typically not. The only way you'll get movies here, if the playing field was equal across the country, they would only come to Ohio because of the visual locations. That's the only reason they would come.
Something Cameron Holstedge hopes will continue.
You think you can make a career in film and television here in Cincinnati?
Absolutely. Many people do.
Organizations like Film Cincinnati are trying to lift the $40 million cap on film industry tax credits to compete with other states who actually have no caps. Tax credit opponents say it would be flushing good money after bad.